of ServiceNow. So what I want to do in the next session is like, I want to start with the building a small custom application that will give you a sense of like, different, what are the different platform elements will be involved in building a new custom application and all. Okay. So I completed my testing. I'm ending the impersonation. I will be moving back to my admin profile. So when I want to build something, like, first of all, we need to have a requirement should be in place, right? So let me pick up a small
Can you please share your
example.
screen?
Oh, is it not?
It's not.
It's not a recording thing. Okay. So let me know if you are able to see my screen. No?
Yes, I'm able to see.
You're able to see it, right? So what I want to do is I want to build one small library application. Okay, so the way like I will be progressing in our training session is I will be giving you the platform or components experience via this custom application. Okay, after this, being like, we'll have to be looking into the real-time experience. So we will be having out of the box ITSM application. So what I need is like, you have to build this, ITSM application. You have to customize that ITSM application. Okay. So, right, we have ITSM applications like incident. Okay. We have a problem and we have a change. So first thing I will do on my custom application. Next thing I will ask you to do it on the out of the box application. So you have to do both the things. Okay, so that is how we will be progressing in this overall class. Okay, so to start off, I want to build one small library application. Okay, today, first of all, I want to give you the overview of what is that library application, how it should be working, and what are the high level expectations. Then, we will drop the requirements and then take those requirements into two. That is the plan. So as I want to build a library application, please tell me like, what are all the components that would be involved in your library application? Can you guys speak up and say?
Book ID.
Okay, books. Okay, give me a high level view and then we will drill down. Books.
Book ID.
Okay, and book will have a book ID. Okay.
Like what kind of book it is, genre.
Okay, again, this is the book information. Okay. And book name, you can say, and cost, you can say, and who is the author. Okay, you can say, okay, and who is actually currently assigned to, because library books will be dispatched, right? Or you can say dispatched to. Okay, so this is all about books related information. Okay, what else? You will be having a library. Only books. You will have anything? Racks. Okay, rack information. Rack info. Okay, rack name and rack ID. Okay, something like this. Okay, and what else you will have in a library? Okay, if you are maintaining a library, what what probably you need to maintain? So let us say if being you are maintaining a library, you probably come up with some issues around that, right? Let's say somebody is having issue with a book. A book probably is a old version, need to be upgraded. Okay, or else like maybe you're seeing the quality of library maintenance is not good, or library is not opened up all the time, or else like the book which is provided to somebody who is not returning it. So anything related to library, you wanted to maintain some cases. Okay, library issues, library related operations, library operations we can say. So this is how you will maintain. When you are saying library operations, what will happen? If somebody is raising a case, you need to have a case number, right? and you will have to
Case.
case description, and then you will have to have a case, short description and priority and status, something like this, something this sort of, right? So this is all like, at very high level you will have, right? So when you are saying like, library contains books, racks, and then library operational. This is a process around it. And this is a physical aspect that you are maintaining in some table. Now, remember, like, this is simple database concept. Now you want to capture all the book related information. Where do we store the information in typical technical world? Where do we
Database.
store? Database, right? So we store this data in database. Okay, what does the database contains?
Tables.
Yes, right. Database contains tables. So it's a simple, fundamentals, right? Table contains what?
Views.
Columns. Okay, and table can have multiple
Views.
views, right? Look at the same table can be visualized in a different views format. But data, when we are saying data, okay, the data will be stored in database in a tabular format. Okay, table contain columns, and then the set of columns will be treated as one record. Okay, all the columns A, B, C and consolidated, we will call it as a record, right? So database contains tables and table contains columns and records. So this is how we will be visualizing any data in database, right? So to achieve this in ServiceNow, now you want to capture book related information. So exactly whatever you have described is what I actually also have captured in the beginning. Like we will be slowly evolving this particular requirement sheet, okay, as part of our custom application development. So I want to set up a logo. I have done that. So I want to create a table which will capture all the book related information in ServiceNow. We will do it how to do that. And also we want to create a table that record all the issues related to library. Okay, to do that, we will create a table. Okay, so while we are doing it, there are multiple concepts that you will be learning today. Okay, so first of all, we will create one library application. Here, I want to spend 2 minutes of time. Okay, I have asked you like I have explained one single topic. When we are creating a new application, when we are creating a new when we are trying to give a structure to any process or any operations. So I have said, what is the business need? Why are we doing this? Are we doing it for our internal consumption? Or are we looking at this application? Let us say ServiceNow is giving you a fantastic platform to develop. Tomorrow you have come up with a beautiful idea. Okay, one of my colleagues, he has come up with a beautiful idea which will parking facility. Okay, particularly we have GHMC right in Hyderabad. Okay, so for GHMC, they want to manage some parking process. For that, he has come up with his own idea and he developed it. Okay, and when he developed it, ServiceNow come up front and they say that your application is really good and we wanted to buy it, and they paid something to that candidate and they purchased it. And it is not like for any company. He do, just like you, he did it on his own in his personal instance, and ServiceNow came up and purchased it. So if your idea is really good, and ServiceNow will come up front and then they will buy your application. Now you need to know how and what exactly you are trying to achieve with this new application. That's where you need to decide whether you are building an application in a global scope or you want to create a separate application scope and you want to build your application. That's where you need to decide. In this case, I will create this application in a global scope. Okay, so we will, in the later phase, we will create a new application scope and we will see what is the difference. Okay, so tomorrow the same exercise, for the first 2 minutes, I will do it in the application scope. Okay, so now I am trying to do it in the global scope. I want to make sure application scope is properly selected. Now come down to new table creation. So my objective is to create a new table as part of my library. Library revolves mostly around book and then issues. So first of all, I want to capture book. Okay, so To do that, go to all, and go to system definition. Go to system definition. Under system definition, you have a place called tables. Click on tables. Okay, click on tables. So this is where you will see all the tables in ServiceNow. Okay, all the tables in ServiceNow are structured here. Again, I'm saying every single thing in ServiceNow is a record in another table. Now this table information is also a record in a separate table called a sys_db_object. Okay, so now I want to create a new table that will be available to capture information related to book. Okay, now I'm trying to create a new book. Okay, I want to create a new book. Click on, go to system definition, go to tables and click on new. And this is where you see a table, a placeholder to create a table information. When you're doing it, you need to understand a couple of additional aspects. Okay, so here on the left hand side, and I click on all, I see a detailed navigation, right? Okay, pin it so that it will be static. So when I do that, on the left hand side, I see this is called application menu. Okay, which is which is actually holding modules within it. So I can minimize this application menu. Again, similarly, I can type incident. Okay, and this is the application menu, and the inside it, like I have modules. So when I doing it, this is opening a table detail. Okay, table data. So when I'm doing a new, when I'm building a new application for a library, what should be the name that I want to give for my module or for my application menu or for the table that I'm going to create? So my library contains details related to book, details related to issues. So for a moment, I want to give my table name as a book. This will be captured as a book. Okay. So when I give a label, system will be automatically going to take the database name for this particular label. Okay. Because when we are scripting, we will be following names as an evidence. We will not be going by labels. Okay. So that is why whenever we are giving a name to a table, you will be providing label, system will be automatically going to take a name. Once this is created, you can change the label, but you cannot change the name. Okay, so please make sure when you are giving the name for the first time. I created a new book. At the time of creating a new book, should I want to create a new application menu? Should I want to create a new application menu here? If yes, okay, what I have to do is I want to say a new application menu called library. I want to say library. I want to see library. Within the library, I want to see book. Okay, that is my objective. If I want to create a new module, I can say like this. This is a new module. If I want to do that, check mark. If I want to create a new application menu, use this create new. Otherwise, you can make it disabled. Okay. For example, for every single time you are creating, you don't want to do that. You want to structure within that. You can use these options. So I want to create for my purpose a new application menu, a new module, and this is where I will be setting up these options. So now create a new module, create a new application menu, and submit it. Okay. And there is a new option called extends. I will explain it in a minute. Now I submitted it. Okay. When I submitted it, what happens? The system will create a new table. The system will create a new table and that will be available here. Okay. And also available under table detail. Okay. Now it system created a new table. Go back. And then this view called a list view. This view called as a list view. Sort out by clicking on these options. Okay. And you see a new table that I just created has been successfully created. The new table has been successfully created. Okay. Now I cannot change the name anymore. I can change the label if I want. So I just created a table. Okay, I just created a table. But if you look into the columns within the table, you can see here, there are few columns which are by default created. These are auto created fields. These are system generated fields because this is what ITL always recommends. ITL says if you have been capturing some information in a table, each record should be aligned with one unique ID. Okay, that unique ID, that is ITL recommendation. For that, ServiceNow is automatically going to generate a SysID for each record. You pick up any record that will have a SysID. Now it's a table is also SysID, it's a record in a table and you can have the SysID of the table. And within that, like it created a column will have a SysID. And if you create a record in the table, that also will have a SysID. So the SysID will be auto generated and it is a unique 32 digit character. Okay, so the 32 digit SysID will be auto generated for every single record that you are creating. So it's a unique one. Remember this. And second thing is who updated and when that is updated, who created, when that was created. These are some of the basic details that are bare minimum for any record. This is for audit purpose. Okay, let us say you have an incident, somebody is updated it and you don't know who updated it. You don't have to look at anywhere. You come down to this field will be automatically captured. So you will know who updated it recently, who resolved it recently, who created it recently. So these details will be helping you automatically through that audit feature. Okay, so these are system generated features. So along with that, there is one hidden field called history. For an incident record, if you look into that, so the history of incident will be always like captured in the incident history. For example, let us say this is the incident record. And if you open this incident record, what happened to that audited fields? If you have a field that is available for audit, and you can see this is a history field, which will be automatically going to capture all the updates that are happened around this particular incident in a historical format. So this is also another field will be created, but you cannot see it in the default list. So these are some fields, around say 7 fields will be automatically created when you create a table, whether you create a new column or whether you don't. So this is a standalone table that you created and it automatically created. But at the same time, you want to capture additional information like this, and that information you need to create in a new columns. Okay, now I created a table. I said create a new module and refresh the system and see what is happening. I refreshed it. As soon as I created, so the new module should have come up here. Now type library. Okay. When I type library, and within the library, I have books. So now from now onwards, I will be doing it like regularly. So I'm making it as a favorites. Okay, I'm making it as a favorites. So now library is my application menu. I just created, and within that, I created a table called books. When I clicked on books, it opened up a data in the list view. This opened up a data in the list view, and you can modify the list using this particular personalization. What columns to be visible in this particular list view? Right now, these are the default columns that are created. For your experience, I want to show. So this is how I can change the list appearance. Okay, now if I want to create a new book request or a new book detail, I can do that from this particular view. I can do it from, but there are no columns in it. I have not created any column, right? So this is where you have to create a new column in that particular table. How to create a column in a table? There are 3 ways to do that. One, you can go to the table directly from the system definition. Okay, under system definition, go to table. Okay, go to the table and open your book. Okay, open your book and create a new column. This is the first way of doing it. So what are the fields that we wanted to capture this book information? I want to create a book name. So book name should be, you should be providing, initially when you are creating a new book. So what kind of a field it is? So you have to define the field types. In the database terminology, every column should be defined with one column type. Okay, so now there are various column types which are available here. So I will be talking about what regularly used column types, and you can definitely extend your learning by going through these details from the documentation. You have it here. Okay, so I want to capture book name. So this is a string field. So I will say string. Okay, now string. So I'm saying like a book name. Automatically name will be auto captured as I said. Every custom field will be a custom table starts with u underscore. Okay, and the length of the book can be some 90, maybe sometimes book length is going to be too lengthy. Okay, let's say I'll give you 120. Okay, is it a mandatory field on the table? I can say it's a mandatory. Without a book name, what is that you are creating? So I will say it is a mandatory. Okay, submit it. So this is the first way of creating a column in the table. How did you create it? You went to the system definition and went to the table. From the table, you created a new column from the column section. This is how you created. Okay, now there is a second way to do that. So I will do this from the other way. Okay, so cost is an integer. Okay, I want to create a cost field on the table. This time I will use the second method to create a table. Now this is a table, right? I have created a new field here. What is that field? Called book name. Add that book name to the list view. Remove some unwanted fields here from this place so that you can visualize it. So now I have personalized my list view like this. Book name, when that book is created, and eventually I will remove this also. For now I kept it. Now create new. So this view called form view. This view called form view. And the previous view called list view. Okay, the previous view called list view. Go to favorites, library. This view called list view and this view called form view. When you right click here, you can configure form layout. Okay, this you can change this layout the way you want it quickly. While you are changing the layout, okay, I'm saying like create a new field called cost. What is the field type? Integer. It's a very simple and quick. Through this configuration view, you can do that. This is the second method of creating a new column in the system. So the second method is open the table in a form view. You open the table in the form view, right click, configure form layout. Now you created a second field using this second option. Now there is a third option called configure, go to form design. So when you are creating a column, when you are doing these actions, each view has its own advantage. Okay, so why ServiceNow has given these many methods to create a column? You will have advantage of these methods individually. You will learn why. Okay, now the third field that I want to create it here, I'll quickly do that from this one. So third one is author. Okay, I will say book ID. Okay, auto generated number. I will not be able to create it from the form view or a configure view or a configure design. You will come to know why. Now there is a tag 2. Okay, tag 2 is a choice. I need a choice field. Tag 2, is it live? Is it with the library currently or with any individual? That's what I wanted. So tagged 2. Okay, so what I will do is I will go to form design. Okay, this is my form design. I want to create a choice field. What kind of field it is? Choice field. Drag and drop and label it saying that choice field. Okay, choice field. Now this is the name that I wanted to provide, choice. Okay, and what choices I want to have? Okay, and I want to have individual. I want to have these two choices. Okay, now everything is good. So what I will do is I will close and I will save. Okay, now I created a new field, reload it, right click on the form and reload it. You can see the third field is created. Now the third requirement is I want to have a book ID. book ID is an auto-generated number. To do this, I cannot do it from the configuration. I cannot do it from the form configure, auto-generation number. Okay, I cannot do it from the form design. The only method that I can do is I can do it from the backend table. Configure, go to table. You can directly go from here, or you can come down to here and then open the book. So the same table will be opened up. And here in the section, if you go to control, okay, you can have an auto number option. If I have done that, so the auto number will be automatically created, updated. So if I have done that, okay, I have said generate auto number, the system will be automatically generating a number. So this feature is unavailable on the form design. Now at the same time, here I want to have two sections like this. Okay, I want to have two columns like this. Okay, auto number, auto generated number should be coming up here. Choice should be coming up right like this. Okay, and field is what is that? A new field that I created. Just reload it because the book ID is not at come up. Reload it. I just entered it. Reload it. Now everything is in one single row, right? I want to have side by side. You know, I can have now. I want to have book number in the beginning. Two columns, maximum of two columns only you can do. Choice should be coming right side. Cost should be coming right side. And I should have a book number and then book name followed by. And this is how I wanted to do that. This I can achieve only through the form design. I cannot do it from the form configuration. And I cannot do it from the table. Backend table also I cannot do that. Now I have reloaded. You can see the appearance is changed. So each and every single place, okay, when couple of options only available on the table view, couple of options available only under the form configuration, okay, form layout, and couple of options available only under design. You, according to the requirement, you have to pick up that one and then do it quickly. Now you know, right? The field can be created on the table from three ways. Go to form configure table, configure form design, configure form layout. These are the three ways that I have used to create a column in the ServiceNow table. Okay, I'll quickly create other ones. Now I want to create author. Okay, so author is a person, right? So every person information in ServiceNow is structured in every personal information is structured in a table called user. Okay, in ServiceNow we have a table called user wherein like you will store all the user related information. So when I'm trying to use this author, I want to have a feature for end user to select that username. Okay, so I will use the field name called reference. This is a very powerful field. Please underline in your learning. So author automatically selected. Okay, and when I'm selecting like when I'm saying this author is a reference to a particular table, when I'm using a reference, so the system will be reference to a particular table in the backend. At this time, what I want to use, I have a table called sys_user table, which will capture all the user related information. Okay, so from this user, I want to store the data. Why I am saying like reference is a very powerful one. Unlike any other field in ServiceNow, reference will capture the entire object of that particular backend record. Okay, you will use it in the subsequent lessons. Why and how that is useful. Now submit it. I have created a reference field. Okay, now scroll down. It should have been created right below because there is no control. Now, if you look into it, I have no data, so I can see all the data automatically come up. Okay, these are all the users which are currently available, around 630 users. Now, here in the choice, I wanted two choice values. Okay, so that I have manually entered during my creation. Okay, if I want to add additional choices, I can click on right click and configure choices. You can add any choices that you wanted. And also you can go to the backend table. As I said, every single record, every single option that you see in ServiceNow is a record in some table. The data related to the choice will be structured in the sys_choice table. So you can go to that particular table. You can configure it from here also. There are various ways to do that. You will slowly, you have to practice. Only then you will be memorizing these options. Okay. So I have created author and now I created a tag. The book ID is there, collected by, or else like, uh, taken by, or else whoever is currently taken this particular book, you can also capture that information in this particular book. So I will use, okay, system designer, or else like, the configure option quickly to do that. Go to configure, form layout. And this is also a reference field that I want to reference to sys_user. Okay. Now go to configure, taken by. Okay. And this is a reference field and reference to which table? Sys_user table. Sys_user table. Scroll down, starts with U, right? U. This is the table. Select it, add it. Now you can change the order, okay, where exactly you want to put it. You can change this option in the configure form layout view. Okay, save it. So you created a table and the table has now with 6 fields like this. So under your library, you have a book table. Under your library, you have a book table. This is called a module. Okay, and you are able to see all the book information here. Okay, we will learn about how to create these modules and then manage these application menus little later. But now we created a table. Okay, and then we created a columns in it, and we created those columns through multiple events. Okay, so that's number one option that I have done. So the second requirement here is create a new table to record all the issues related to the library. Okay, we want to create a table that capture all the library related issues. Okay, to create a table, where do we go? Where do we go?
System definition.
System definition. Go to system definition, go to table. Okay, go to table and then create a new table. So here, okay, when I'm going to create here, I want you to learn a new concept. So that's why I'm creating two tables here. So what is that table purpose? Library issues, right?
Yeah.
This is the, okay, library issues. Okay, I want to create that particular table as a library issues. Automatically, it creates a name and then also it will ask you whether you want to do that or not. I want to create a module, but I don't want to create a new menu again. But I want to select, configure this particular new module within the existing one only. Okay, here I don't want to create another menu, but within the same menu I want to create another module. How to do that? I will say select the existing one. I have already existing one, right?
Library.
So I can select it. For the first time I used it, but for the second time I can use it. Create a new module. Okay, this is fine. Create a new module. Okay, if you are developing an application for a mobile interface, you can create a mobile module. That is fine. Okay, when I'm doing it, there is an option called extended. What we are saying is our intention is when we initially recorded requirement, library operations or library issues. Okay, now we said issues. Okay, library issues. What it should have? It should have a case number, case description, short description, priority, status, blah, blah, blah. Right. So you as a developer, you need to know what is it already available in ServiceNow, how best I can reuse the existing ServiceNow system to build a new applications on top of it. So being I'm an experienced resource, I know that like in ServiceNow, there are few tables which are already there, which you can use it for your development purpose. Okay, so what table is already there? For example, let us say if you have opened it, you have to experiment it like all the times. Let's say I have opened up incident table. I have opened up a problem table. I have opened up a change table. Okay. Now these are all the new tables that I have opened. Go to incident table. Okay. You open one incident record and right click and configure table and see what is it available. Okay. Right click, configure table and observe. See, if you have seen this, this is the table for incident and that incident is extended from task table. Okay. Now open problem. Okay, I'm opening a problem and right click the problem. So it is taking time. Right click, configure table. And visualize what is it. Observe it. Now this is a problem table and this is also extended from task table. Now open change. Okay. The change record is opening up. Right click, configure table. If you have noticed it, even change is also extended from task table. Why it is extended? What do you mean by extension? So when you are developing something, you can take the advantage of this extension. So if it is extended from some parent table, what happens is if the parent has some properties, some assets, they will be inherited to the chain. Okay. So when you open a task table here, if you open a task table here, task is already having certain fields inbuilt. Okay. If you open this task table, go to columns, which has around 70 fields, which you can use if you want. It has a field called active and you wanted like, you want to have short description. Okay. Type short description. You have it. You want to have a description. So it has it. You want to have a status field. So you have a state. You want to have a priority field. Okay, you have it. And you want to have, number field. Okay, auto-generated number field. Okay, you have it. So you have all these options which are already available in your task table. Okay, so the best practice is unless until you have a special advantage of it, you can take the advantage of task table and then use these fields and then create any custom fields that you wanted for your particular purpose. So this is where I want to manage my issues. So all the fields which are already available in task table, so I can extend it from the task table so that all the properties will be automatically extended to my new table. Okay. When I created for the first time, only 5 fields are created. Now I am extending it from the task table. So the system will not create fields, but it will be automatically taking the fields from the task table. Now what I have done, I have extended it from the task table. I saved it. See, you can see all the fields are automatically came up, but the fields are not directly created on the table, but they are from the task table. This is a logical concept. So now data has been come from task table. Go to your library, refresh it. Refresh it. Okay, and go to library. Okay, now you can see it did not create a new application menu, but it created a new module within it. And see all the columns are automatically came up. I did not create anything. You can see you can directly start up. Okay, testing or first library issue, the additional details, notes. Okay, and you can say set the priority, critical or moderate and submit it. You can use this particular feature right away. You know that if you have any field which is very much necessary for your table, you can create it. Okay, there is not limiting, like it is not limiting to create a custom fields. But if you are using table extension, what it does is system will be automatically having it passed on to the child table. So it is called inheritance. Okay, this is called inheritance. Now you have book table. This is the standalone table. It is not extended. So you have to create your fields according to your customer requirement. Okay. Okay, 3 idiots, for example. Okay, 3 idiots, and somebody, Abel Tutor is taking. Ideally, Chetan Bhagat is a author. I do not have it right now. This is with the library. Cost is like some 200, and but you know, you can provide an author name. If he's not there, you can create a Chetan Bhagat like this as an author. Okay, so you can say that. So now I created a book. So this is how you will create a book, and then you will create a library, and this is how holistically create a new custom application. Okay, this is a new custom application. Again, in summary, this is built within the global scope. Tomorrow we will learn about like how do we create it in the global custom application scope. Same thing, I will do it in just 5 to 10 minutes for your awareness. Okay, so tomorrow, if somebody is asking you in an interview, what is a custom application, what is a scoped application, what is a global application, you should not be blank. Okay, so that is the objective. So now you understood what is the application menu, what is a module, what is a table, and what are the methods of creating a new column in a table. Any questions so far?
It's clear, sir.
Okay, great, Ramya, Rani. So, Hyaman, any questions?
Nothing.
Okay, so, all right, Chaitanya, any questions?
No, sir.
Subbarao? Any questions from you, Subbarao? Pavani, any questions?
No, sir.
Are you clear? Is it good, or are you feeling any challenge? Anybody is thinking that like it is too complex to understand?
No, sir.
Okay, so what I want you to do is I want you to go through the video once again. Okay, and I request you to execute the steps. At the same time, I also wanted you to practice. So from tomorrow onwards, like the sessions will be like this. Okay, so from tomorrow, what I'll do is I'll prepare a scoped application, and then at the same time, I'll make sure like you are also creating it. Okay, so today, because we just started off, experimenting in the ServiceNow tool, right? But from tomorrow onwards, the sessions will be like, half an hour, it will be my talk, and 30 minutes will be like, your, execution, and then another topic and execution. So we have to make sure like you are already practicing that and there. So please make sure you are having your instances are up and running before the class starts. Okay, you should not be waiting, when I ask you to do this.
Sure, sir.
Okay, sir.
That's number one. And number two is, if you have any questions, please do post in WhatsApp. I will definitely respond like before our call tomorrow. But my request for tomorrow from each one of you is go through this topic, and each one of you should ask one question within this topic. Okay, whether if it is like something which I am already aware of it, then and there I will answer. If I don't know, I'm still okay. Like, and I will document that question. I will be answering that question in the next session. But I want that one question from each one of you. Okay, pick up one question and ask me that question tomorrow. This is the kind of homework for you. When you are asking, like you will, when you are trying to do that, you will also make sure you will not be asking a silly question, and you will try a little bit to ask a valid question. That's the learning that I'm expecting from you. Okay.
Yeah, sure.
All right. So if you have no questions, so we will regroup tomorrow and then we will continue.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, then. Thanks, everyone. Have a good day.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.